This model review is of the Matchbox Avro Lancaster, and it's 1/72nd scale. It has some nice box art. This is obviously a much older model, and doesn't really give you a picture of the finished product, but it does show you some of the options for decals. Let's have a look inside. So it all comes together. This is obviously an older model, as I said, so I bought it online, and they've stapled this all together. Let's have a look at all the parts. So first of all, we have our wings. And these wings have some level of detail on them. They actually have recessed panel lines, which is unusual for these older models. They do have some flashing and some mold lines, but overall it's somewhat surprising. We need to add some rivet lines to those. Here we have our fuselage parts, and these ones unfortunately are raised panel lines and no real detail on the inside. Here's our glass. And there's a fair amount of glass for all the different ports. There's gun ports, turrets, and in the cockpit. Looking at this sprue, we have some engine parts, some wheels, looks like probably some landing gear. Over here we have some of the other parts of the engine cowl. We have some wheels, some additional landing gear. We do have some figures. Looks like this is the gunner, as well as our pods, co-pilots. We have our chairs, and then our propeller covers. These parts are obviously were free. I'm very thankful that these guys put them in these sealed plastic bags so they don't get lost in the mail. Here's our tail wing. Reasonable. Here we are for our propeller. We saw the spinners earlier. These are propellers, and pretty good quality. I don't see any mold lines or flashing. And then some engine cowling parts that have come off. Let's have a look in here. Do some other sprue parts. Looks like the top part that covers the wing and cowling join right there. These are our tails, bomb bay covers, and some other parts for the fuselage. Let's have a look at our decals. This is an old model, so I expect to have some old decals, and yes we do. They still seem like they're usable, although they have yellowed a little bit. What I find is it's usually the glue that's yellowed. And these are your different options for the different Lancasters to build. Here are instructions. So this one here shows our decal and painting guide. This one is for the Australian version. And here's another British version. These are from 1942. And the other one's from 1945. That's the British one. And placement of the decals. Okay. Here's our list of paints needed. And painting parts. Let's see. Okay, here we have our construction of the cockpit. It's obviously sparse in detail. One of the guns. Second gun. Starting to build the fuselage. Fuselage goes together. Then we have the looks like the front gunner going together there. Putting the spinner on the propeller and engine parts. Then building the landing gear and tail. Putting the wings together with all the different parts on the fuselage, and then the bomb bay. Now the bomb bay looks like you're probably not going to be able to, well, you could leave it open, but you really wouldn't have much detail to look at. There's no interior detail at all. So still an intermediate level model, fair number of parts to put together, but not much in the way of detail.